Now let me go one step further with you, I said to him. You need to also understand this. What is it that he or she is doing that is making them so successful? You got to analyze them and analyze them and analyze them and analyze them and analyze them. And what you got to do is know what it is they're doing to make themselves so successful. If you want to beat them, only you got to learn to do it better. You got to learn to do it better. Now I'm going to give you a little story that's a true story to make my point. And this is going way back, but the message is still workable today. This was a new real estate agent. I used to specialize in, segment 3 grads. I used to love them because a clean mind, a virgin mind in the business is much easier to work with than a mind that has been polluted with bad things and that I have to undo the damage. It's easier to train a new dog, the old story, than an old dog. But anyways, this one agent comes to me and she decided when I had my own real estate company, you had to be a lister, period. You don't want to be a lister, don't work here. End of story. There was no discussion. And I would teach you how to list. Because I knew if I could teach you how to list, you would be successful for the rest of your life in the business. There was no discussion. And so I said, you got to find a farm area. So she comes back. She says, I'm going to work. I had 2 offices, one in High Park, one at the Annex. She was working in my Annex location. And she came to me and she says, I'm going to do Parkdale. That's the area I want to work. And this is going back many years. Anyways, and there was another agent. She was 8 months in real estate. And she had 0 money. I'm talking 0 money. And she was young. And in years. Anyways, long story short, there was another agent who'd been 20 years in the business who had worked the same farm area she wanted. And I told her exactly what I told you. Give me the number, and then you got to find out what she's doing, and you got to learn to do it better. It's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight. And so she said, okay. So one day she comes into my office, and she says, one of the things I know she's doing, I said, what? She said, every house I go to inspect in Parkdale, I see a real estate calendar on the wall. Just about all of them have her calendar in the house. Now that might sound pretty boring to you. I said, great. And she said, I have an idea. And that's one of the things I love about real estate people. I love real estate people because most of them are incredibly creative. They're out-of-the-box thinkers a lot of times. And she was certainly one of these out-of-the-box thinkers. So she said to me, I have an idea. Her mother was an artist, painter. Her brother was an amateur photographer, and I'm going to talk about Sebastian in a minute. Speaking of photography, I think of my buddy Sebastian. And she, of course, was the real estate person. So she said, I'm going to design, instead of a Treb calendar that you buy, the ones we're referring to,